evening, everyone. By show of hands, how many of you have ever been to an emergency department at a hospital? Yeah, that's a good portion of us. Now, take theoretically for a moment and think, can you imagine what it would be like if that hospital didn't have any computer systems to help automate their process and help with your illness? It would be a mess. Nurses and doctors would be manually writing things down, and there's a lot of room for error there. Tonight, we're going to talk about hospital automation. A little bit about me first. I have 6 years of corporate IT experience, 2 years in the healthcare industry. I support clinical applications, both the HIS, which is the Hospital Information System, which is the mainframe for hospitals, and also the LIS. Here are some of the vendors that I work with on a daily basis. Some of them you may recognize, including Microsoft Windows and SQL Server, things like that. Tonight we're going to talk about why we want to use hospital systems. Well, first of all, we probably want to use them because they help reduce medical errors. We've heard a lot of talk in the past couple of years about medical malpractice, insurance, those type of claims against doctors. Secondly, it helps to reduce costs for you, myself, the patients, and also insurance companies. Insurance companies don't want to have to pay for a lot of things, and neither do we. Thirdly, they help hospitals to generate more revenue. The more revenue hospitals generate, the easier it is for them to get more sophisticated systems and lower the cost for all of us. And we all like to have a happy doctor over an unhappy doctor or nurse. First, reducing medical errors, one order at a time. Medical errors happen every day, right at the bedside. And recently, they have designed new systems called point-of-care testing. Point-of-care testing allows doctors and nurses to use sophisticated handheld devices like this one you see here that are wireless and can automatically perform bedside testing. They can do any kind of test, from a glucose test to a pregnancy test to what have you. This reduces errors because we can positively identify a patient with their armband. This barcode here contains specific information to your visit, your room, your everything. When they use these Palm Pilot devices, they just come up, scan the barcode, and it positively identifies the patient. This helps with sampling because instead of having to call down to the lab and have the phlebotomist come up to your patient's bed and draw the specimen, now they can perform the test right at the bedside and get the results immediately in the computer system without even having to do anything. The preparation is very important because certain types of tests require different requirements for different types of tubes of blood, that sort of thing, excuse me. With handheld computers, very similar to laptops, doctors are now able to use tablet PCs right at the bedside and also to place orders for new lab, pharmacy, radiology orders. The nice thing about these systems is they have automatic checks. These automatic checks will allow the doctors to automatically know that this patient is allergic to penicillin or they're allergic to latex. With these types of things, it lessens the load on the pharmacist. There's no drug interaction worries anymore. They automatically are alerted right at the time that they place the order. Stop, you can't place that order. It eliminates illegible writing. How many of you have seen something like this from your doctor? A lot of us, I'm sure. This happens every day, and it's more common than we really think it is. But with handheld computers and computer entry systems, we no longer have to have doctors or nurses manually write this information down. It's all in the computer, all 100% legible. When the doctor places an order, it automatically generates a label like you see here. Positively identifies the patient. It includes what kind of test is being ordered, and it even includes the type of tube that you need to collect the specimen in. For example, certain types of lab tests require a different type of tube. We have green tubes, we have red tubes, we have purple tubes, all kinds of different ways of collecting specimens. Automatically tells you what doctor, everything's there, eliminates a lot of problems. Next, we need to talk about how we're going to reduce the cost to the patients. Literally, one Band-Aid at a time. You may not think it's true, but hospitals actually charge you for every little thing. In the past, it was a little bit different. Now with computers, we've become a little bit more sophisticated. Insurance companies have certain requirements for reimbursement, and these requirements are very strict. certain types of insurances will only cover certain types of tests, certain types of procedures, what have you. With the computer systems, we can automatically tell you that that is not medically necessary. So, for example, if you are a diabetic patient and you're in a room, they want to test you every hour for your glucose. Some insurance companies will allow you to do that, others won't. So with the computer system, it'll automatically stop you and say, can't do that. Now, these systems are also completely customizable, which is great because for certain types of hospitals, they say, well, we're a research industry. We want to be able to get that information. We want to learn from that. So we're going to go ahead and absorb that cost and not charge it to the patient and not charge it to the insurance company. So since they are completely customizable, we're able to go ahead and say, go ahead and order it. Don't prompt the doctor or the nurse. That's all right. We're going to absorb that cost. All supplies are barcoded, and this helps us to reduce overcharging and undercharging. Like I said earlier, we can't charge you for each little item. In the past, we used to have where you would come in for a procedure and you would be charged for all these certain items, even if you didn't use them. So you can imagine how quickly that could add up. The saw blade, $3,000. No joke. So by reducing the cost for the patient, we can also generate more revenue for the hospital. This is going to help the hospital to expand. It's going to help the hospital to increase research and also bring in more sophisticated systems. By generating more revenue, we also have one limitation where we have one chance to bill. When you get discharged from the hospital, we have 30 days to prepare a bill and send it to your insurance company or send it to your house if you are self-pay. So with that, we can't miss any charges. In the past, medical coders would have to sit there and decipher paper charts and figure out what the doctor actually was charging for. Sometimes high-priced items would totally get missed. We have rule-based orders, for example, in the laboratory system, where if a certain result on a lab test, let's say glucose of 102, that's a little bit high, we could automatically reflex, and the system would know, go ahead and order another certain lab test automatically, and it would generate a label and a charge for it. This eliminates the human element, and as we all know, we're not perfect. Neither are computers, but they're a little bit more than we are. So if we can take a little bit more of the human element out and let the computer make the decisions, we feel a little bit more secure. Technologists rely on laboratory information systems every day to process requests reliably, quickly, and accurately. Management needs access to all levels of data to monitor the health of the business and enable process improvement initiatives. In the past, when you had manual paper charts, you'd have to collect that data, enter it into an Excel spreadsheet, trend it, find out some information. Now with these sophisticated computer systems, we're able to get that information in real time and make quicker decisions on business ideas and ways to progress the hospital. So in conclusion, hospital automation really rocks. It really does help to keep us all safe, and it helps to get you in and out as quickly as possible. We talked about why it reduces medical errors and how that can either kill you or keep you safe. Help reduce costs and also to generate more revenue. I hope you guys have a better understanding and appreciation of computer systems in hospitals, and if you guys have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.